Most pastors will tell you the story of Abraham like this. God called him. He obeyed. God made him rich. End of sermon. But that is not the story Scripture actually tells. When God called Abraham, He did not promise him a check. He promised him land. He did not promise him passive comfort. He promised him descendants, generations that would inherit something. He did not say, "Come, I will hand you wealth." He said, "Come, and I will show you a place where you will build wealth that outlasts you." That distinction is everything. Because what Abraham did between the calling and the wealth, the years that Scripture moves quickly through, is the part almost no one teaches correctly. Abraham did not sit and wait for the promise to materialize. He moved. He acquired. He positioned. He bargained. He chose specific land. He bred specific animals. He made specific deals with specific people. The wealth did not fall from the sky. It was built over decades by a man who understood something most modern Christians have forgotten. And what we are about to break down is the part almost no one teaches correctly. Abraham was 75 years old when God called him out of Haran. He left a comfortable city, a settled life, family land that was already established. To go where? Scripture says he did not know. But what he did know was this: there was a covenant attached to his obedience. Genesis chapter 15 verse 5. "Look toward heaven and number the stars, if you are able to number them. So shall your offspring be." Read that verse carefully, because it has been misunderstood for generations. God did not promise Abraham a feeling. He did not promise him peace or comfort or a sense of purpose. He promised him a portfolio, descendants beyond counting, land that would belong to his bloodline, wealth that would not die when he died. In the ancient Hebrew worldview, descendants were not just children. They were the continuation of a man's name, his estate, his economic legacy. To be promised offspring like the stars was to be promised a multi-generational empire that would outlast empires. And the modern professional needs to hear this clearly. God did not call Abraham to be comfortable. He called him to build. There are 3 specific decisions Abraham made that turned a promise into a fortune. Principle 1, he moved before he had clarity. The first verse of Genesis 12 says, God called Abraham. The next verse says he went. There is no recorded debate, no business plan, no 10-year strategy session. He went. Most people in our generation are waiting for clarity before they move. They want the full picture before they take the first step. They want certainty before they invest, before they relocate, before they start the business, before they put capital into the asset. Abraham did not have certainty. He had a calling and a direction. He moved with what he had. The modern parallel is precise. The professional sitting on accumulated savings, waiting for the perfect investment, is making Abraham's opposite decision. The professional who deploys imperfectly into a fundamentally sound asset class, at the wrong time, at the wrong price, is making Abraham's decision. This week, identify one financial move you have been delaying because you do not yet feel ready. Make it, imperfectly, with what you have. That is Principle 1. Principle 2, he chose ownership over comfort. Every time. When Abraham and his nephew Lot had grown so wealthy that the land could not sustain both of their flocks, Abraham gave Lot the first choice of where to settle. Lot chose the comfortable land, the well-watered plains near Sodom, the easy life. Abraham took what was left, rocky, dry, less obviously valuable. But here is what Scripture makes clear in the verses that follow. The land Lot chose, the comfortable land, was destroyed within a single generation. The land Abraham took, the harder land, became the inheritance of an entire nation. This is the principle that broke open everything for me when I first understood it. Old money has known this for centuries. The most valuable assets are rarely the most comfortable ones in the moment of acquisition. The land everyone wants is overpriced. The asset everyone is celebrating is at its peak. The position everyone is comfortable taking is the position that will not produce the largest return. Abraham chose the asset that required patience to mature. Lot chose the asset that was already at its peak. One built generations. One was destroyed in a generation. The modern professional who chooses the comfortable salary over the harder ownership, the easy investment over the patient one, the consumer goods over the appreciating asset, is making Lot's decision. The professional who takes the harder route, the position that requires patience, that does not look glamorous on the day of acquisition, is making Abrahams. This week, identify one place where you have been choosing comfort over ownership. Reverse it. That is Principle 2. Principle 3. He built for descendants he had not yet met. Abraham died at 175 years old, long before the full promise was visible, long before the nation had emerged, long before the descendants had multiplied like stars. He never saw the empire his decisions created, but he kept building anyway. Because Abraham understood something the modern professional has been trained to forget. Wealth is not built for the builder. It is built through the builder, for the people who come after. The modern professional who saves for their own retirement and treats inheritance as an afterthought is building for themselves. The professional who acquires assets that compound across decades, who positions land and equity in businesses to be passed on, who lives below their means so that their children's children can live above theirs, is building like Abraham. This week, make one decision that benefits a generation you have not yet met. That is Principle 3. Abraham was 75 when he left everything familiar behind. He had no children, no land of his own, no guarantee that any of the promise would materialize in his lifetime. He moved anyway. He chose the harder land. He built for the unseen generation. He acquired ownership when ownership was the harder choice, and the bloodline that came from that obedience reshaped the religious and economic history of the entire world. You are Abraham. You are the one who has been called to build wealth that outlasts you. You are the one being asked to move before you have clarity. You are the one being asked to choose ownership over comfort, patience over speed, generations over self. Move now. Choose the harder land. Build for the children of your children. In the next video, we open the wealth strategy of another biblical figure who built generational fortune from an unlikely starting position. Subscribe. Stay close. Throne of Wealth.